smart motorways. They should never have been called smart motorways because they're anything but. They're death traps, aren't they? It's when the hard shoulder is removed. It was all supposed to enable to reduce traffic congestion. There's been a number of people killed on smart motorways. Extraordinary story in the Telegraph, which has been yesterday and followed up in the papers today. Die now. What staff have dubbed the software for smart motorway signs. Sally Jacobs joins me now. Her husband Derek was 83 when he was killed on the so-called smart motorway stretch of the M1 in 2019. Sally, good morning to you.
Good morning, Andrew.
I want to commiserate with you with the loss of your husband. 2 years ago, it probably still hurts just as much. And then you read that the staff have dubbed these the software Die Now.
I'm just appalled that anything could be so callous and cruel. And it's 2.5 years, actually, since he died, and we still haven't had an inquest, so you can imagine how painful it is when this comes up. I mean, why they don't use their common sense and reinstate the smart mode, the hard shoulder straight away. If this was aircraft or liner, it would be stopped so that an investigation could take place. But they're doing nothing. Nobody is listening. I can't understand why, but they say common sense isn't so common these days, is it?
If you can bear to, Sally, what happened to your husband?
He was on his way to Yorkshire, Derbyshire. We don't, as I say, we haven't had an inquest, so I still don't really know what happened. But there was a problem with the tyre. He pulled over, or perhaps was in that lane. The police said he did nothing wrong. He got out the passenger side, and before he could get over the barrier, a car hit his truck, crushing it onto him. And the motorway was closed for 9 hours. Of course, people don't keep emphasising this. Because the hard shoulder is blocked, the emergency services cannot get through. They had to stop traffic, and they brought the emergency services in from the next direction, the opposite direction. Sorry, I'm stumbling. But of course, it was too late. I think he died at the scene.
How terrible. And why no inquests even yet, Sally?
I don't know. I've been on to the CPS. The police couldn't help me, and the coroner's court, and they can do nothing. Then they referred me back to the police. They won't talk to me, which is heartbreaking.
Of course.
Until they charge her, and there's some stumbling block about her health or something. But the thing is, 2 cars got round him, but she didn't.
So,
it's terrible.
It is terrible. I'm sure. And Sally, you'll have read that the computer systems controlling safety signs on smart motorways failed 3 times in 4 days. And that's when staff at the Highways Agency dubbed the software Die Now, because they know that, because, quotes, someone is going to get killed.
But I heard yesterday you researched that somebody had put a bug in it or something. Is that true? I didn't quite understand it.
Not quite sure. But I mean, but if the staff who are managing the system are calling it, saying Die Now, you wonder why the government perseveres with these wretched smart motorways.
But the thing is, last week I heard from the Mail saying they'd spent $7 million on changing the title to National Highways. I think that's right, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right. No, it was Highways England. It was a publicity campaign, a complete and total waste of money. Sally, thank you so much for joining us. And once more, please accept our commiserations at loss of your husband 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, died on a so-called smart motorway. Still no inquest, aged at the age of 83. We'll